Assistant.
Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to thebasementny.com. I am your host, Jose. It feels like Monday, but it's Tuesday, right? Is it Tuesday? The unemployment life is real, son. It's real out here, kid. I don't even know what day it is. It is Tuesday. It is the end of the world. Biden is president. We still out here somehow, somewhere. And I am joined with Paulino. Paulino, say what's up. Tell me are you going to have Thanksgiving, sir?
If I'm going to have what?
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. My wife and I are going to go up to New York. We're currently in Alabama. So we're going to drive over there and, make it happen as best as we can, with everything going on. So.
You did something crazy. You just picked up and left New York and started this whole adventure. That's right. Like far-fetched, even for me, and I consider myself like an extrovert, but like to pick up and like do the thing, whatever that thing is, for anybody, especially now. You wildin', son. How are you managing? How are you? I say straight up, you wildin', son. Like,
yeah.
But you're not the only one. Apparently, a lot of people picked up from New York or moved from wherever they were at. But to do that now, amidst Corona, how you like? Jeez.
Yeah.
You got extra gloves?
You said extra gloves?
I don't know, bro. I don't know what people be wearing these days. I brought some masks and it felt like putting skin on my face. It was disgusting.
Oh man. Yeah. The mask thing, I'm not even gonna lie. It's been like on and off for me. Because I think recently we went to visit family. And we went to the gym with them, and we had to wear a mask while working out, and that was like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
He's like, I don't even like going to the gym. They made it like more challenging. They tried to choke me out.
It was double the challenge, man. It was, because like when you're breathing hard, it's like suffocating you, man. I don't know.
Especially if you got one of those skin ones that I brought from Costco's the other day. And I was just there. And I knew I messed up. When I brought it. Because I said to myself, I'm not buying masks. Screw coronavirus. Screw this crap. I've been getting masks from my last jobs. And I still have, I'm running down. So I'm like, oh,
okay.
Let me pick up some masks. I knew I messed up when I got to the checkout at Costco's. Because they want to check your receipt. And the dude was wearing one, and it just looked like misery. It looked like it was harassing him. It looked like a domestic violence case. I was like, yo, this is not right. And then it was going into his mouth, the in and out part when you breathe. And he was just standing there. I can imagine you on a treadmill trying not to eat your mask. Like what the freak?
It's crazy, man. It's super crazy.
I'm not feeling the masks at all. So where are you? So you've been like, it seems to me like you've been like to almost every state.
Yeah, almost. Actually, we've been trying to. I know it's probably an odd time to try to, go ahead and travel, but I don't know. Just felt confident that we were going to be okay. We were going to take care of ourselves where we needed to, protect ourselves. And
every time you go, are you quarantining? Are you required to quarantine?
I think the only place I heard of like quarantining being a requirement was New York. But yeah, in between the trips, it'd be like, I think the lowest 3 days, the most a week between like the traveling time. So yeah, I guess quarantining to the best of our abilities.
But you've been good though, otherwise.
Yeah, and the people that we've been visiting, they've been like over the last month or so, they've been fine. And we visited people with like different ages, like people in their 80s, people in like, their 50s, your age, babies and stuff like that. So
he said 50s and then he said my age. That's messed up.
Yeah, but no, you're like, I was going down, obviously. I was going down the scale.
But you ended with 50 and then you mentioned me. So it's like, oh, chronologically, I'm old.
You're right there.
I just
You're
look
right there.
like I'm 60, guys, and feel like I'm 60. That's a different story. Tell me about. So I actually pulled you up, and I'm like, okay, tell me about, and I'll share this with the El Mundo. Tell me about the Instagram stuff.
Hey. So I don't know if people can see the next to the tHE. There's a little Michael Jackson emoji on top of there, but it's not that. But like the trend now is like they put the name and then they go him, he, or like she, her. But I put he, and there's like a smooth criminal kind of emoji.
Yes,
it helps a lot to zoom in too.
Yes, that works. That actually works. Merch to celebrate the album release with me. Discount code. Okay.
Yeah. So that link is actually to my website, but on top, it's like when you open it, there's like a merch button, and you press that, and you can use that discount code, which is I was supposed to take it down a while ago, but yeah, that's it. And then you press merch and all that stuff.
I like the simplicity behind it. Yeah, a lot of people think, don't realize that sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
And this is where your stuff can be found, right? So you're into the music.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the genre, the style, how long you've been doing it, what's the dream, what you're chasing.
Yeah. So initially I wanted to do because what's funny is that I'm primarily a singer, so the ideal situation would just be straight up R&B or some sort of singer-songwriter kind of thing. But I know I do a little rapping as well, and so I wanted to go full-on rapping and hopefully find a label that would want to invest in my talent and put some finances behind me and get the branding out there. But yeah, as I kept going, kept making music, that changed. And I'm seeing all these videos, like all these artists talking about, record labels are not really that great. They're more about themselves and creative control and, or lack thereof. Yeah, so it's just like now I'm just wanting to tell people, it's a lot of storytelling, and I'm now branching out into trying to be more, I don't know how to say it, but I'm trying to show off more, not too much of the story, but more of like technique kind of stuff. So I'm trying to get into more wordplay. I'm trying to get into more, metaphor type of stuff. I'm trying to be more intricate now. But the genre, if I had to, pack it in one thing, would definitely be hip hop, R&B kind of thing. Because I know I'm doing a little bit of rapping. I'm also singing. But yeah. So.
Who would you say are some of your mentors or some of your favorite artists that you not that you're mimicking them or anything like that, but like who's your go-to for your, if I play your playlist, what are we listening to?
Right. Definitely out the gate is going to be some Andy Mineo. I can't lie. And I try to deny it because like so many people say, oh, you sound like him, man, you sound like him. And I'm just like, I'm not trying to sound like him, man. Like, shut up. Nah, but so yeah, the Andy Mineo, definitely. Some James Blake. I don't know if you ever heard of James Blake, but he's more of like a euphoric kind of singer. I think he's from the UK. Really dope dude. Some Logic. And that's mostly because of I like his energy, and he has a really good producer. So I like a lot of his beats, a lot of the songs that he makes. Who else? A little bit of Kendrick Lamar. I can't lie. He's got some nice vibes. Who else? A little bit of her, some Daniel Caesar, Fleet Foxes. I like Fleet Foxes. I know that's like not a common thing with a lot of people that I know, but they do a lot of neo folk kind of stuff. So it's a lot of guitar, like just a lot of acoustic stuff. but his vocals are really sick. I like the way he sings. So
Okay.
yeah.
When
Yeah.
you had mentioned something like fair representation, you like I was watching the news this morning and I was the very little bit that I catch, the owner of the first 6 albums of certain thing for Taylor Swift was owned by someone else, and I think she was fighting this person to try to get the music back. And the article on the news this morning was saying how the owner of the first 6 albums of Taylor Swift had just sold it, and for like $300 million or something like that, something crazy.
Oh dang!
And she had the availability to buy it, right? But she had to sign a disclosure agreement that I forgot what the disclosure. It had some where she couldn't bash, or like she couldn't bash him or his company if she owns the rights. It was something crazy, and she didn't agree to it. So, but it ended up selling, and so when you mentioned that fair representation, that's it just popped up in my mind that I was watching that this morning while trying to have some tea, like an old man. So you're talking about that. What is that like for you? Are you on your own?
Yeah. Currently, and every now and then I'll connect with either another artist or another producer for like a collaboration. But yeah, so I try to do as much as I can. So like the website, that was all. I had some help from a brother-in-law of mine, actually, who's used the same website maker. It's called Pixel Together, and it's actually based out in Australia. But what he likes about it is that there's a lot of it's super helpful for visual thinkers. So, and I feel like I've tried Wix, I've tried Squarespace, and a lot of that stuff doesn't really help me. Like I really can't, like, I couldn't do it. So yeah, and I try to put, it's definitely a big investment. Put in the promotions out, and doing like something like this for, a website kind of thing. So I pay a little bit of money every month to go ahead and, edit it and tweak it, things like that. So yeah.
I can tell you off the back that it is bread. If you, whatever you're trying to do out there, they are going to tax your ass for pretty much everything, which is insane. And it makes it's almost like, which I think leads to my next question, is like, how do you, there's so many people that chase a dream, and this idea that you could achieve anything is like, but can you really? Like, who's really making it out there when you compare the numbers? You know what I mean? And I guess my question is, should that discourage you from chasing that dream? Whether that's to become a doctor, a musician, the next Kanye, the next Chef Ping, whatever it is you're into, should that hinder you to chase the dream if it's so dense and so flooded? The markets, especially now with like social media, it's a heavy question.
Right. Yeah.
It's
no, it's a good question, man. I think that's a question I'm even asking myself now, where it's, I recently submitted a few songs to, there's a website called submithub.com. And so I submitted a song to like 5 influencers. So these people have like, these kids, like they're really young. They've got like, however many followers, and 100,000s or a million, whatever. So they listen to it and they like rate it, and if they want to share it, they can share it. And so most of the time, I found myself like getting a lot of rejections, like a lot of decline for sharing kind of emails. And so, yeah, I asked myself, it's like, man, should I don't know, maybe my music is not really meant for the whole market. But I think the first thing I think about is how passionate I am about it, and that I these ideas are just in my head. So it's like I have the tools to bring it to life, to make it music. And so, I want to keep doing that. And also that there's always an audience for like everything. The way I always think about it is like, there's 10 people who love Kanye, and then there's 2 of those 10 people who also like Billie Eilish, and then there's like 1 person who likes, Run DMC. There's like 3 other people. So like, I feel like there's a large crowd that listens to music generally, and then there's like a piece of them who like this, piece of them like that. So I feel like there's always a stage for the stuff I'm doing now. It's just boiling down to consistency and, dedicating time.
I see your point. Like before, all we had was Michael Jackson and Prince. You know what I mean? There was nobody else but Michael Jackson and Prince. You had to figure out which side you were on, right? Everybody picked Mike. But yeah, so you're saying being that there's more out there, you're bound to get an audience, however, whatever that size may be. There's someone that's gonna okay. And so I guess that sort of answers the question as to like, so the answer is, yeah, chase your dream. You know what I mean? There's someone out there that's interested, but chase the dream, whatever that is. If you're 100% passionate behind it. How long have you been doing this? Like that you got really, really real into it.
Yeah. So what's funny is that it was pretty much at the beginning of this year, because I got married last year and we moved in that summer. And so it was a bit difficult just trying to find a flow between working at Starbucks and then coming home, because like I would be dead tired from a Starbucks shift. Those who have worked there will know. And so yeah, like, I'm sure you've had that, like those days you come home from work and it's just like you just want to sleep, don't want to do anything else. So I was having a hard time, finding a flow. Then I really got into it like towards the end of 2019 into 2020, because one of my friends, or my mentor Josh, and then one of my good friends Raina, who was starting to do, like, she was starting to get into the open mic thing. She's like, hey, I know this guy. He hosts an open mic on Thursday nights. Like, you should come check it out. So I was like nervous at first, but I was like, let's go, let's do it. And so it was a great experience. I was super nervous, but it was super great. And then what was really cool about that specific one was that the host had a band. So like after your song was played, whether it was, you told the band what to play or you played your own track, they like would play an outro for you, or like an interlude, like based on what they heard. Like they were that good. Like they could listen to the song and just, yeah, man, the dude was amazing. So yeah, I really got into it earlier this year. And then when I was on the roll, that's when quarantine and like the lockdown and all that happened. And then I started to really, really hone in, because, then they closed the store I was working at in Times Square. I was working at the Times Square area. So, yep, they closed it down. And so I was home for like most of the day. So I was like, okay, what do I do with my time? Like, how do I do this? And so I got into a routine of like, I was going to, because we had a main bedroom, and then we had like this smaller like walk-in closet size thing. So I did my setup in there. I would walk in there, do like a...
Wifey was tight? You took my closet?
No, that's like another story. Is like we looked at the apartment, and first of all, like we were shocked because the actual landlord was like willing to work with our price, and it was like way below their asking price. So that was like the first, kicker. And then once we got there, we were taking a tour, and then because it was actually one bedroom, like on like the top floor of a brownstone. So the one bedroom was actually like separate from everything, and then you had the living room that like bled into like a dining room, then went into the kitchen. It was all open. And so we get to this room, And, the landlord was like, yeah, this could be like, a guest room or a closet, or, you could have a baby crib in here or something like that. And I was like,
setting you up. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
You said the B word.
He was trying to look for longevity on the lease. That's what he was doing. That's what that was.
He was trying to get money. He's trying to get the money.
Stay a while.
That's mad funny. So she automatically was like, oh, this could be a music room. And I was like, no, we don't have to do that. Like, I was like rejecting it because I was like, I think this could be a really good closet. Like,
he knew he was supposed to say no, y'all. He knew.
Put stuff here, put shelves here. Maybe we could put the bed in here, whatever.
He knew the right answer. He just got married, y'all. He took the classes. He knows what was the right answer to that question. So this was all during COVID.
Yeah. Well, the first story of like when we got there and took a tour of the apartment, that was the year before. That was 2019. Yeah. So when I stopped going into work because they closed the store in 2020 this year, which was like March, April, and June, I think, or March.
It feels like February, right?
Hey, there you go. What?
It feels like it all started in February, though.
Yeah, kind of like the talks about it were definitely in February, but it was so weird because like it felt like a huge switch because my wife threw a huge surprise birthday party for me, and then it was like next month it was lockdown. But yeah, that's when I started to really hone in on like all the lyrics I've been coming up with, and some of the melodies that were in my head, and it gave me a lot of time to really just sit and figure out what I want to like. Do I want to put out an album this year? Like, okay, like I got all this time now, I can really work on putting something together.
And this is basically what you had. This is one of those, right? What? That's not it. Definitely not it. You had sent me some of the music to sample out, which I'm gonna add in.
Okay.
When I get the moment. It's also available on your website, right? The sampling of the music, if they wanted to go there, right?
Yeah. So if you go down to the music section, you can click on one of the major tabs, which is like Apple Music, Amazon,
okay,
or Spotify, and you can I think it'll play a small clip for you. But
okay.
I haven't done that yet because I'm just on Spotify. I'm like a Spotify addict.
Oh, that's where you primarily are. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I listen to my music.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna.
I like a family plan, so I share the bill with a few people.
That's the way to do it nowadays, bro. And it's not illegal because they tell you get up to 4 users or 2 users. You know what I'm saying? Just follow the rules.
Yeah.
Right? So this is basically what you've been working on since then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Give that a listen.
Tight if you act like you don't know me, oh. And if you don't know, you'll get to know me, oh. If we go back or just met, then we homies. Little Paul, I got God and a little Paul. Used to be the heartbreak Drake of FaceTime with Skype then, but I sent shorty text and she ate mine. With the side of real love, I had no time for romance, just time for what was in those pants. Young girl from PA with family living in the lower deck. I won't say names, but I was lame and I was spewing disrespect. Turned to gods and disaffect. That's worth to Trump. Now let's inspect to interject on what the young is spitting. I'm spitting for where the sacred texts are given, where the God man was sent so I could be forgiven. He forgave a lazy goof.
Okay. Give him a little bit of, and then leave him hanging kind of thing. That's how I do. That's how I do. Y'all already know.
I like that, man. That's dope.
That's actually dope. And you said you don't, that's like spitting is secondary, your primary singing, right?
Yeah. So that was kind of like a rappy singing kind of thing.
Okay.
I wasn't like really singing out. But yeah.
It definitely sounded like. I feel like I could only rap in my head. Sometimes it's tough enough to just get thoughts out into the ether, let alone But I feel like it all works out in your head, right? It just doesn't come out the way you wanna push it.
Right.
How has it been? So we're talking about maybe a solid 6-7 months of working full time with it. I just recently became unemployed, and I'm having a difficult finding time to like schedule, and and then with people just in general, I don't know if people are more busy with COVID or less busy, or maybe they just don't want to deal with the world. Just like getting people to wanting to come on and wanting to schedule.
Yeah.
So it's been a solid 7 months. Where do you feel like you're at? Is this something you want to keep investing into?
Yeah. It's definitely something I want to keep investing in. Of course, I got to be wise because I am married, so there's another person I have to think about. And so we are currently sort of in another transition, so like we might move again. Aside from that, it is definitely something I want to keep doing. I want to keep growing and collaborating. So my best friend actually, he was like, I'm proud that you put the project out, and he was listing like a lot of the things that he thought could be improved. And so I feel like I'm already like taking those notes, and I'm working on like the next thing, and shaping up and growing and things like that. So I definitely want to keep doing it. It's exciting. It's fun. And,
How many songs you got on the album so far?
You talking about this one, the current one? I think it has 16 altogether, 13 of which are like the main body, and then like the last 3 tracks it's kind of like a gradient. So like the 14 track is loosely based on the actual project, and then 15 is somewhere we're like getting out the door, and then 16 is like a whole different world. So yeah, right now and listening back, I think my friend was right. There's like at least 3 songs that I think could have been condensed into one. Just based off of subject matter. I feel like I probably didn't take enough time like diving into the, and like really looking over the, the subject matters of the songs. I feel like I was trying real hard to get the deadline on, I was trying to get it.
That's a pretty big commitment, because I wasn't expecting number 16, right? You said there's I was definitely not expecting that number, so that's a lot, and I could see how you probably naturally could have condensed some of them on. So when I think about your what you were saying, the genre right now, you said storytelling. What story are you trying to tell? Like if you would have like summarize it, what's the message? Your past, what you're going through now?
Yeah, so this specific album was just a lot of the things I struggled with mentally, emotionally, spiritually in the last year or so. Yeah. So that was kind of like putting it out on display, and like accepting I did those things, and then realizing those things actually shaped me, and they helped me in some ways. They helped me to realize some stuff. They helped me to get away from stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
That's why it's called Cherish the Struggle, because these are things, even though I feel like I was in a lot of dark places, I'm glad those happened, because they helped me to move forward and become a better man.
Okay. So do you?
I think that was like 3 sentences right there.
No, that's
it wasn't
good.
Like one, like
that's good, because you phrased it in a way that I want to ask you more about what the struggle is, but you know what I mean. That's for the viewers, the listeners to go out and check out for themselves. And I don't know what that says about what real talent is, and what what we have available, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that or artists, just to put it on on blast, I feel like a lot of it is just so mass produced, and you know what I mean, like it doesn't for me, it doesn't. I mean, I'm an old guy, like I'm not listening to anything relevant anyways, right? But even the little bit that I get exposed through the social medias, I'm like, man, I could see I could see them being propped up and everything, just it's all like fake, you know what I mean? Like But the artists that we see nowadays is just it's mass produced and it doesn't seem genuine. I remember when I was into like rap and back in the day, I appreciated genuine artists, like Kurt Cobain, Nas, Tupac, I don't know. It was about the storytelling, you know what I mean? But then now it's just even more and more washed. Like, what's those Chinese white guys? The four guys? What are they called?
The Chinese white guys?
They're not white. Their skin color's white because most Chinese are white. Mad racist. But what are they? They're like these five guys everyone's crazy about. I look at them like
BTS or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, this is so like BTS. What? Like who's watching this? You know what I mean? Who doesn't?
A lot of people are actually. They're very popular apparently.
They look like Christmas ornaments that are on display on Macy's.
Oh my god!
You get the whole set. You know what I'm saying? You got the whole bow with different. That's what it looks like. It's so packaged and whatnot. So Kanye's not president. What happened?
That's a question.
I just feel like I think we would have been better off at this point.
Yo, that's so great.
So bad.
Yo, I gotta that's funny. Yeah, man, I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, not to go too much into detail, but I thought about writing him in just because, I feel like he had that was a message that, I felt like was real as opposed to whatever side is trying to. It's crazy, man. But yeah, I didn't write him in. I felt like my brain was like, he doesn't really have political experience, so we probably shouldn't do this.
But tone into his message was like, what was it exactly? What resonated for you?
It was something about his foundation, or he believes the foundation that'll bring everything together is prayer and faith, which I think to a certain degree is really good. But there are actual I don't know how to say legislative or legal changes that have to happen in America. None that I haven't done any research yet. I just feel like that's a good start, prayer and faith. That's a really, really good start. I think it'll bring people together. But yeah, then there's we got to bring the influence to the top of the food chain kind of thing. And, yeah. So I think that would only come with being in those circles and having that experience, politically speaking.
Yeah, I could see that in the back of my mind. I could hear the whole phrase church, separation of church and state, and we're talking about government and religion and but overall, I agree with you. I think a good start would be to pray. And when I hear the word prayer or pray, instinctively you're like, oh, okay, you're a religious person, you believe in the creator, but I think, but for some, for me, prayer also reminds me of if I'm praying for you or praying for something, it's a positive note. It's whether you believe in God or I believe in God or whatever the case may be, the prayer is going to be something that I wish you well, or I wish the situation better. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when I think about prayer, I don't think about I'm gonna pray this guy, disintegrates and doesn't eat forever and dies, miserably, right?
Yeah.
I don't think of a prayer like a negative thing, and I think that that's a distinction maybe for some individuals. It's if I'm praying for you, I'm just wishing you well. You know what I mean? You don't have to believe in the God I believe in or not. You don't have to believe that there's a God or not. I'm just saying that if you don't mind, I will keep you in prayers, in whatever you're going through or whatever we're going through. And as a nation, I think that when I hear Kanye, that was his overall underlying. That's what I got out of it. You know what I mean? It's if we're going to start anywhere, we should start by caring for each other and wishing each other well, no matter which side of the political aisle you're on. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, that makes sense.
But that's the first thing I get off that I get out of it. And we're in some really trying times. I can't think of a more relevant time to take the opportunity and tap into a talent or a dream, whatever that may be, than now, because more than ever people are listening, right? I mean, people are on they're on their devices like crazy. I mean, how much time do you spend on your phone a day versus before?
I mean, yeah, outside of my computer, shoot, yeah, I'm on it a lot of the time.
I remember there are times I don't even pick it up, and I'm like, now it's like attached to me.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah. No, I'm saying I'll actually every now and then discover a different artist every now and then, because IG, as always, picks up on your, what you search and what you've been looking up. So lately I've been following and just a random artist or a random like person who paints or something like that. And so that usually just pops up on my feed. And so since I'm on my phone, I just click their link and go to Spotify or go to wherever, YouTube, wherever their music is. So yeah, I think now is a really good time, because people, and I find too that a lot of the trendsetters for like the last 10 years or so, they're actually retiring. Like I just found out Lil Uzi Vert is gonna put out like 2 albums and he's gonna retire. You got people like J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar is probably gonna drop 2 more albums. I don't know what is happening to him. But yeah, so it seems like there's like room being made. So I think that's the other thing that motivates me to keep going. Like at some point, maybe, I don't know, my time will come.
Are you getting? You got like 550, 520 followers on IG. I have like a total of like 3, me, myself, and I. It's an ongoing theme on the show.
Okay.
What kind of feedback are you getting? How are you experiencing that aspect? I don't like if someone were to comment on my show or anything like that. I apologize. I don't read. GED did that to me, so I apologize. But how are you managing that whole, like, because it's relevant, right? Like if you're putting yourself out there, you're putting your contact out there. If someone does reply, you want to hit them up and let them know,
Yeah.
How are you managing all that? What's that like?
Yeah. So every now and then I'll get like, because I post sometimes. I'll post the numbers of like how many plays the album's getting. Or I posted, like it actually came out, and I posted something about that.
Okay.
And some people hit me up like, yeah, I'm going to listen to it now. And sometimes I'll get feedback, sometimes I don't. The one person that gave me like real feedback was my friend and mentor I mentioned earlier, Josh. So we didn't really like have too much time to sit down and because it was a funky day. It was, the day to go vote. So yeah, he really broke it down, and so I feel like moving forward in life, and as I keep making music, I feel like there's probably just gonna be not that many people, like maybe 1 or 2 people who are like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna be honest, that was trash, bro." Like I know you want to like get it out, you have to, but bro, like, and yeah, some other people are like, "Yeah, I'm proud of you," and my mom is like one of my biggest supporters. Like she'll comment on like everything album related, like, "Oh, I'm so proud of my baby boy. I love you and I miss you."
Aww. Just got weird, guys. Just got weird.
Like, Mom, what are you doing here?
I think that's dope. I think that's definitely dope.
Yeah.
Sticking to a commitment and a schedule is not easy, especially when you're doing it on your own and on the fly. You're like newly married. It is kudos to it. When do you see yourself putting up the last or giving up, like these artists are doing? Giving up is a tough word, right?
Yeah, like putting up the, putting up the gloves, or
I mean,
I don't want to say throwing the towel, but like just putting up the, I don't know how to say it,
but like, I don't, maybe it's not that. Maybe it's I'm done. I did it. Mission complete.
That's a good question.
Definitely not now.
Nah, definitely not. I feel like right now I'm somewhat generating a small audience. that's the one thing about Spotify that, or any platform that I think kind of, and I get it because it's like this app. There are apps that are just intentionally made to show you your statistics and how much money you made in the last month, or whatchamacallit, where it's playing, like what country is it popular in. But there's no like social aspect, which I don't expect there to be. But I have like 25 followers right now on my Spotify, and so it's like I don't know who those people are, and so I'm wanting to connect with those people. But yeah, to not go off on a rabbit hole, yeah, I guess when I get to a certain age where rapping is not really cool.
I'm gonna say when he has that first baby, the B word.
Oh dang, the first baby. Oh, I don't know. There's some artists out there who got like 2 or 3. They got a full-on family. They're still doing the thing. Like they're flying here, they're flying there. So it's just I don't know. I guess trying to figure out how we would make that work. And
well, the first step would be to stay still, because you be moving more like than anyone I currently know, and that's bread. I don't care how you cut it. That is bread cutting it out. I met Lecrae, and he just had his 2 daughters, and he was doing Battle Cry at the time.
Oh dang, Battle Cry.
Yeah, exactly. I'm showing my age. I'm showing my age.
Bro. I was 12, man.
He said he was 12. Damn, I'm old. Damn. I was still old back then. Yeah, I met him, and he was talking about how, he was feeding to get home with his daughters, and I'm just like, you're doing this with kids, and he's in my little Kia. He's like 7 feet tall. So it doesn't necessarily mean the end, if you're real about what you're trying to push. But I think the other message is that if you don't, like, I'm already telling myself, listen, it might never pop off, and that's okay too. I don't think and maybe you could prove me wrong, tell me I'm wrong, that I don't think that the young generation, I don't think they're being told, yes, chase your dream, but have a backup and be okay with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not everyone's meant to be Kanye West. Not everyone's meant to be Jay-Z. Or the president of the United States, for that matter. Whatever your thing is, chase it, go wholehearted for it. But I don't think the young generation is also saying that, reality is you might not make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But still do it, but have a backup plan. Then they're not told that. And it's discouraging in a way, because how do you phrase that without them feeling discouraged? Like, what's the point then? Like my kid, when he was younger, he's still young. He's like, I want to be a YouTuber. He's 7 years old. And I'm like, your octave is like 20 times too high for anyone to tolerate. I'm not going to tell this kid this thing, but at the same time, you don't want to discourage him, right? I think it's the same thing, but as you mature, you're kind of told, listen, the reality is, I don't know. What do you think?
I think that's definitely important for them to know. And it's something I still think about. Like, if this didn't pop off, I would definitely go ahead and because I have I don't want to say an affinity for coffee, but I do really like making coffee and like things like that. I'm really interested in. So I feel like going the whole Starbucks route, like become a manager kind of thing and be on salary type thing. I wouldn't mind doing that at all, because I'm still like involved in something I really like doing. So that's sort of a low key kind of passion, the latte making and all that. But yeah, I think it is important for them to know, and at the same time, I try to invest as best as you can. Because like, sometimes we can't invest in the kids, but I think it is important that they know, and not that they only know that it's good to have a backup plan, but that they know how to plan how to go about, executing said plan.
You're like the fourth. I don't know what it is about but you're like the fourth person I know that loves making coffee.
Yeah,
and it's a weird. Where did you guys grow up? Like, what kind of generation? What? I thought I was the only one. What kind of craziness? Did you see the another news clip? Because that's what old people do. They watch the news. The first thing they wake up is the end of the world happening. I haven't even brushed my teeth. I saw a clip, and I'm gonna mention that clip actually now. Y'all see the clip right now. And basically the clip is like a robot. So it's like a robot arm. You saw the robot arm. It basically picks up, makes the coffee, lattes, whatever. And they were saying in the news that it's like $5 an hour. I mean, yeah, $5 an hour versus $15 an hour minimum wage to make to operate it. Like they broke down the cost. Yeah, bro. So and the reporter was like, that makes me sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sad.
She legit said that makes me sad. Yeah, you just took somebody's food. You just took somebody's food, their rent, their livelihood away. But like when you mentioned coffee, I'm like, is that another side? That's another dream or goal, or that's going to be taken away throughout this whole. Whereas music, music is always going to be popping off, right?
That's true, yeah. So like if the plans, I guess if I had to lay them out, would be like an independent artist to be on the top. And then the backup plan with that would be beat making / producing for other artists, but there's always really good money there. And then it would be like franchising coffee or whatever.
Okay, so like you also make beats that you sell or that you promote as well.
So I have outside of like selling my own music, I have a beat website. I was actually going to update it before the interview, but I could probably I can edit it afterwards. But basically, what it is like you click on it and it brings you to a page where there's a list of tracks that you can buy, and then you scroll down and there are like different levels of leases. So there's a standard lease that's like I have it there for $19, like $20, and that you can. I think they set the parameters for you, which is great because like it cuts out having to work through all that and write it down.
Right.
There's an option to buy the bits and pieces so that when you do buy it, you can go send it to whoever you're working with, whatever engineer you're working with, and he can go ahead and shape it all together so that it sounds even and clean.
Versus like recording all those sounds or those clips yourself. You're buying it.
Or just using the one. Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like a lot of work, and it sounds like a simplified version of versus doing it yourself.
Yeah,
that's insane. And how much time do you say you spend a day, doing this?
I'll say maybe 2 to 3 hours.
The clip that you sent me 2 clips. Is the second one also another? You sent me a work MP3. That's another clip of yours. That's also part of the album as well.
Yeah, it's also part of the album.
Okay.
Yeah, that was an interesting one to work on for sure.
What is that one about? Besides, obviously, the title, if it's even related to the title.
Yeah, it is. So this is about basically my. Oh, you got to download it. Dang, bro. Sorry.
No, that's good.
You guys facing your thing?
I should. I mean, I spent enough money.
That?
I spent enough. Let's see what that sounds like.
It's about the struggle of being a new husband and working on being an artist. So that's kind of
So this one's personal.
Is always sweeter than honey. Let's check the facts. You're married now, no bringing it back. Moving forward, now give it slack. You lead in the pack. I know there's not a manual, but you lean on the son of man. See what you struggle with, go put it aside. A man is fixed on his maker's heart, and all of that takes work. Seems like it doesn't stop working forever till I'm gone. Seems like I'll never
Yo, so again, what's the IG? Where can we find you? Where could they message you? Give me some more information. That way I could post it up and tag it on there.
Yeah. So my IG is _Junior Diaz. So that's THEE, like the old English. The _JUNIORDIAZ. And then my Facebook is my whole government name, which is Paulino Diaz Jr.
Okay. Now we just need your social.
The what?
Now we just need your social security number.
Oh, right. That's all that's left, man.
All right, that's what's up. So like I mentioned, we spoke before that we started recording. I mentioned that I'm gonna be posting up your music as a background, and I definitely appreciate that because the whole monetization and copyright laws that are in effect. So I definitely appreciate you allowing me to use your music as contact on the show. I'm gonna post it up so you guys can check him out, follow him on Instagram. Take a listen to the album on Spotify, so I'll be playing video games. I'll be recording other episodes, and I'll just tag you in on each episode, and make it work. You know what I mean? We're both doing this thing, and why not?
Yeah,
why not promote each other's stuff? So, any last things you want to tell anybody? Those 25 people that are listening to you on Spotify.
Yeah, man. I really appreciate y'all, for real. I'm looking forward to sharing more music with y'all, and thank you so much for supporting your boy. Every play counts, man. Every play counts.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Every play counts. Yeah, man. And listen, at the end of the day, chase the dream, whatever that may be. But have that backup plan, because the end of the world is currently going on as we speak.
There was a tornado that ran through New York City. I didn't think that was possible.
It's crazy how most people don't even realize that it did happen.
Yeah.
For some people it didn't happen. Like you're talking like some craziness. But yeah, there was a tornado that hit off the city just the other day. But yeah, man, it's definitely interesting times. Definitely interesting times that we're living in.
Sure.
Leave a comment, like, subscribe. You already know what to do. The Basement. Peace.
Inconsistent.